I'm with Al Heyman. Al Heyman, Ryan Garcia's biggest fight was with Al Heyman. The most money he ever made was with Al Heyman, and then he goes back and fights for.
Ryan Garcia is knocking on the walls of revival, finally getting a chance against a man who has been on his radar for the past 8 years. For some reasons, beyond the comprehension of even the greatest boxing analyst, Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero have always evaded each other until now.
And then find a knockout. So I think I did good, especially with my first fight with Derek. I want to become a champion. So that's my goal. I want Rolly, to be honest. I mean, I feel like it's a fun fight. He's a, aggressive, crazy dude. And I want that, he has a title, technically. But
Well, there's no better time than now. And though fans have asked several questions regarding this fight, it's no doubt that when two kings of trash talking step into the ring against each other, their gloves would continue where their mouths stop.
Bring on Rolly. He's part of PBC. We already ran it once with PBC. I need to get my get back. So I'm going to beat Rolly's and we're going to have that. I just pray to God.
Facing Ryan Garcia is Rolando Romero, who's also knocking on the same door after losing his title in his very first defense against the Mexican Isaac Pitbull Cruz. So also lost in his first title defense to Jose Rayo Valenzuela. His loss to Isaac Cruz was the last straw that broke the camel's back. Fans had come for his head and had begun to doubt abilities after his world championship match against Ismael Barroso, where he won one of the most controversial fights of the year. Ismael Barroso, a 40-year-old who was leading Rolly Romero on the scorecards, suddenly saw the referee call off the fight after a flurry of punches from Rolly Romero that hardly connected.
Rolly. Give him a little message, man. What's up with Ryan?
No Vaseline.
You heard it.
After that, Cruz was next, and Rolly Romero was technically knocked out by the Mexican, further reducing his stocks and bringing him criticism that was already waiting on his failure. Ever since the loss, Rolando Romero has become a less popular figure among fans. And despite a decision victory in his last outing, boxing fans aren't convinced. In fact, many boxing fans feel he's not the right opponent for Ryan Garcia at the moment, especially seeing that Isaac Cruz was meant to be Ryan Garcia's opponent. But for his recent match against Angel Fierro, which would surely have a negative impact on his preparation. However, a win over Ryan Garcia would definitely be the statement Rolly Romero needs to make to the box.
I mean, I hope he keeps training with Derek James. That shoulder roll, that's amazing. It was a good performance. Yeah.
This pair of fighters don't just have a trash-talking history. They also have a sparring history, as they have both sparred one another many years ago. And now they finally have the opportunity to do their talking in the ring. Boxing analysts and fans of the sport can be sure of one major thing, that we're all in for a thrilling build-up to this fight. Rolly talks, Ryan talks. But only the fighter that walks the talk will leave the ring as the winner on the night. While Rolando Romero is also seeking redemption, Ryan Garcia's course seems more charted than Rolly. Rolly seems like one who's just seeking the easiest route to a world championship match.
Won.
Yeah.
He stopped Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a great performance. It was a good performance.
On the other hand, Ryan Garcia has a trilogy to fight with Devin Haney. They've only done one out of the three. And if there was an award for the most controversial fight of 2024, it would have been Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. So much has happened ever since the fight. First, there was no winner. Secondly, both fighters went for a 12-month break from the sport for different reasons. Also, the fight dragged on for months before decisions were made, and it was turned into a no contest. And the biggest stain on Ryan Garcia's name was the performance-enhancing medication that was found in his body just after the fight. But leaving the controversy and talking about the performance, Ryan Garcia, who had lost to Devon Davis,
Fights for crumbs on a shitty TV network. Like, Al Heyman offered me a way better deal. Al Heyman's the best in boxing, and hands down, all of us Al Heyman fighters are living great. Ain't one of us complaining about anything.
Prior to the fight, Devin Haney had been undefeated and had never been knocked down. However, Ryan Garcia, his oldest rival in the whole of boxing, seemed to have his number on the night. It was their 7th fight in total in the amateurs. Devin Haney won 3, while Ryan Garcia had won 3. They needed that fight to determine the winner. Sadly, it was as controversial as Ryan Garcia's behavior in the build-up to the fight. It's with this motive that Ryan Garcia heads into the fight against Rolando Romero, hoping to thrash Romero so badly and then move on to Devin Haney with the kind of fury that had boiled inside of him for over a year. Without doubts, it'll be more than bloody. But here's one more striking thing about the fight.
Guided me, and it just led me to Dallas, led me to Derek, and I pursued it, and I'm here now, and I feel good.
It's the fact that both fighters would be moving up in weight for this contest. Ryan Garcia, whose heaviest was the 143.2 PBS he weighed in last year when he fought Devin Haney, would be adding some more pounds ahead of the fight. Well, he had already complained of his inability to make it to the 140-pound super lightweight division. Seeing his body could no longer go down that low, Rolly Romero also has a big frame, and it'll be intriguing to see them touch each other's gloves in a new weight class. However, many boxing fans are overlooking the competition that awaits them in the welterweight division, with Ryan Garcia moving 12 pounds away from Devon Davis. A rematch between the pair becomes high.
Family, like it's a bond, so I'm hungry, man. That's why I'm here every day training. I didn't even know this was happening, but I came to train with Derek, and like I said, it's a blessing. Happy to be part of the team. I'm improving, getting better.
And the result would hardly be different from the last one, where Ryan Garcia was knocked out in the 7th round. However, the welterweight division is quite packed, with Jaron Boots Andis being one of the major threats in the division after the exit of Terence Crawford, who is also moving up in weight in a bid to get a legacy-defining fight against Canelo Alvarez. It would have been interesting to watch Ryan Garcia and Terence Crawford in the same weight class, especially seeing how much Ryan Garcia has been calling him out over the past few months. Despite his suspension, Ryan Garcia joined the list and called out the super welterweight champion in a very brutal and rash manner. This is probably because Terence Crawford had predicted against him before.
What are your thoughts on Haney versus Ryan? How do you see that fight playing out?
I think it's a great fight. Both of them know each other very well. They've been in the ring with each other a lot of times. I think both of them young, hungry, and know what to do to beat each other. But I give Devin the edge.
Ryan Garcia blasted Terence Crawford and insisted he has the tools to beat him in a mega fight in his live stream on a Sunday night. Garcia declared his intentions to meet 4-weight world champion Crawford. He suggested that his rival would be handed his biggest financial opportunity. Yet, if he accepted the showdown, King RY told fans, "Bud Crawford, I called him out, but he only wants to fight Canelo Alvarez."
I would really be down to fight him. I would really be down to fight any of these dudes. Even Caleb Plant, I feel like I beat the I don't give a fuck he is. You could be 154, 160. I walk around 170. Trust me. If you want to see me, come see me. I'm not worried about.
I don't think he's as good as people think. I feel like Terence Crawford is overrated. I'll beat the hell out of him. I would actually fight him. I would go in there and give it my all. He's boring. I would probably give him his biggest payday of his life if he took that fight. Interestingly, Terence Crawford fired back in a tweet the moment Ryan Garcia began the trolling days before on his X handle. He tweeted, "Damn, I did a lot to be fighting all the bums haters hate, but my name will forever be stamped in the history books." Forever Crawford recently chose to move up to super welterweight, where he beat Israel Madrimov to become a world champion in a 4th weight division. He has made it clear that his intentions are to pursue a showdown with Canelo Alvarez next, which likely need to bulk to 160 pounds. But Errol Spence shouldn't be forgotten as well. His stakes significantly declined after his tragic loss against Terence Crawford. However, should he be willing to seek revival like Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero are currently doing, then he may just find his old self again. Interestingly, Ryan Garcia has also called him out in the past.
What been up to, man? He ain't with Derek James no more.
Yeah, exactly. You ain't Derek James. You folded. You didn't want to pay him some money. That's up. It's all business, but still, at the end of the day, some up.
Garcia floated the idea of facing Spence after his fight with Devin Haney. When Derek James and Spence had a clash, he had asked his social media followers for their thoughts, and the response was overwhelmingly positive, pointing to a high level of public interest in such a matchup. Errol Spence, who has 28 wins and 29 bouts, including 22 knockout wins, represents a formidable challenge known for his power and relentless pressure in the ring. Spence would test Garcia's ability to compete at a higher weight class. Should this be made more realistic, It would likely take place at 154, as Spence has recently moved up from welterweight. An alternative could be a catchweight bout at 150 pounds. But
Spence got beef with my coach. What's good? Come see me. You want to sue him? I want to beat you up.
Yo, facts.
Facts, bro. Do. Knockout arrow. Nice. Buddy, bro. Let's fight all of them at the same time.
Yo, bro.
Beyond the possible fight with Spence, Ryan Garcia faces pressure to prove himself against other top fighters at 147 pounds, such as IBF champion Jiren Boots Andis. Engaging with fighters of this caliber could solidify Garcia's reputation and earnings potential in a fiercely competitive division. However, with Spence's recent physical challenges, including injuries from car crashes and the visible effects of ring wear, Garcia would spend more time acclimating to the welterweight division before taking on high-caliber opponents. As for him and Rolly Romero, their fight will put Floyd Mayweather in a fix, as both fighters are mentees of Floyd Mayweather, with Rolando Romero signed under Mayweather Promotion.
But you've had a lot of sparring with this guy over the years. You talked to the schmo. You know the showdown was going to come.
Me and Ryan can get it too. I'm excited to see that one, I think the entire boxing world has been waiting for me and Ryan to fight,
Mayweather not only trained Garcia ahead of the bout, they also share a very great relationship. And with Mayweather's contribution, Haney can see himself rise to the very peak again. During a lengthy interview with Patrick Bet-David on a podcast, Garcia, the junior welterweight contender from Victorville Sif, opened up about his much-publicized friendship with Money, making it clear that he respects the Hall of Fame fighter more than most people, even within his inner circle. When Bet-David asked which high-profile person in his life had the license to offer him harsh, unbaited criticism, "I want to know which GOAT greatest of all time you allow to privately kick your head," Garcia immediately named Mayweather Floyd. "And I speak a lot. I'm a big talker. I don't speak when Floyd's talking. He tells me a bunch of things. I just shut up. Floyd can talk." "Oh yeah," Garcia continued, and became an evangelist in the twinkle of an eye, saying he's called me out. So it's like, what did Jesus say? Be wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove. He comes out as gentle. He doesn't come out aggressive. 'Cause I don't do that. God doesn't do that to me, unless it's bad, unless I'm really messing up. I can hear Floyd's voice, and I can respect it. I don't really talk when he's speaking. He even says it knows when to speak, and knows when not to speak, like that's facts. I really respect Floyd more than a lot of people." Garcia then made reference to Mayweather's claims about the 3 games of boxing. To flourish, Oscar De La Hoya of Golden Boy, the longtime promoter of Garcia, has taken issue with what he feels to be a potential instance of tampering. In a recent social media post, De La Hoya informed Mayweather to get off, while De La Hoya and Mayweather have been sworn enemies since their days as active fighters. The involvement of Ryan Garcia might reignite the fires of old once more to prove the claims regarding their closeness. Garcia and Mayweather drew headlines very recently. When they were seen jogging together early in the morning, Garcia revealed that he was the one who suggested the idea to Mayweather, whom he claimed was overly impressed with his work ethic. "That 3 o'clock in the morning run with Floyd, that was my idea," Garcia said. "Hit this run. Oh wow, you know what Floyd told me on the run? I promise you this, as God is my witness. He looks me in the eye. It almost sounds like he's crying. You don't hear his voice. Get like this. Very few times he goes, I respect you, just like that. I respect you, like, when Tyson chokes up, I respect you. And I was like, why Floyd? And I'm getting the chills all over my body, because nobody is doing what you're doing. Nobody. Floyd calls me all the time, and I'm running all the time. Floyd's like, I'm so proud of you. Interestingly, the love isn't one-sided. Floyd Mayweather has also expressed his admiration for Ryan Garcia and his willingness to sign him as well, should he get out of his contract with Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions. Ben Thompson met Floyd Mayweather Jr. to discuss a range of topics covering boxing, and it started with the former champion and Ryan Garcia socializing. Mayweather Jr. replied that there was nothing more to the meetup. Besides being a casual get-together, Garcia had also visited the Las Vegas residence and saw the champion's car collection firsthand. Any boxer clever enough would know that the privilege to hang out with Floyd Mayweather is surely more than sightseeing, but a bigger opportunity to get less. Pitbull Cruz chose not to take it due to his previously scheduled fight next month. This is Raleigh's chance to pull off an upset of the ring. Rusty Garcia on Turkey Al Sheikh's card at Times Square in New York City. Cruz has a fight scheduled against Angel Fierro on February 1st and didn't want to negotiate another fight until after his match. Fans were hoping to see Ryan and Pitbull fight, as it would have been a lot more interesting than watching Raleigh be given the matchup.
He's under contract. So, you always got to make sure things are worded right before you get a lawsuit or before you get a letter from a boxer's promoter. If Ryan can go, and he didn't go with me, he can't. I was already.
It's unclear if there were other fighters available. Abel that could have stepped in the 140 pounds division has a lot of fighters with more talent than Raleigh, and it would have been great for fans to see someone else. Raleigh Romero is definitely not a great fight for Ryan, because he was recently knocked out by Pitbull Cruz in the 8th round last year on March 30th. Raleigh obviously is a bargain basement level fighter with limited ability who doesn't belong fighting in the main event of Turkey Al-Shaq's card on May 2nd against the superstar Ryan Garcia. Romero bounced back from that loss to defeat Manuel James by a 10-round unanimous decision on September 14th on the undercard of Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga.
Bring on Broly. He's part of PBC. We already ran it once with PBC. I need to get my get back. So I'm going to beat Broly, and we're going to have that. I just pray to God, try to see where he was guiding me. And he just led me to Dallas, led me to Derek, and I pursued it. And I'm here now, and I feel good. I feel, like.
Raleigh didn't perform well in that fight either. But he had a harmless opponent. Using Raleigh as the opponent is a very poor option for Ryan Garcia in a headliner on DAZ and PPV. Obviously, it's a tune-up for Kingery, so you can give him a break in that department. But it's not fair to the fans to use a fighter with a 2-2 record in his last 3 fights as the B-side for a pay-per-view card. Raleigh's actual record should be 1-3 in his last 4 fights, because his victory over Ismael Barroso was highly controversial, because the referee Tony Weeks jumped in and stopped the fight in the 9th round in their clash on May 13, 2023.
The fight I care about right now is Ryan Garcia. And then the winner between that and me and Ryan gets Gervonta Davis. We're going to do this all on pay-per-view, on Showtime pay-per-view. We're going to do this shit, all right? Like I said, at the end of it, I got the belt. I make the
Raleigh had thrown 4 punches, all missing badly, and Weeks waved it off. Barroso was unhurt, standing and looking at Weeks. What are you doing? Fans were shocked at the stoppage, and there was criticism for months after. At the time, Raleigh was trailing and on his way to losing the fight. There are many contenders in the 140 and 147 PB top 15 rankings more deserving of a fight against Ryan Garcia on May 2nd than Raleigh Romero.
You did take more punches than you thought you would, so what went wrong during this fight? It's okay.
I want to tell everybody, just thank you for coming out, and honestly,
it appears they were in a hurry to find a body to be the opponent, and Romero served the purpose. Given that this is going to be a PPV event, it would have been better to use Jose Ramirez as Ryan Garcia's opponent in the headliner, and give Raleigh to Haney for the co-feature. Even in that spot, Romero doesn't belong, but Haney is coming off a 3-knockdown loss. He needs a soft touch like Raleigh to make sure he doesn't wind up in the dirt. However, if the idea is to ensure that Ryan doesn't get beat ahead of his rematch with Haney in October, then Raleigh is the man for the job. What are your thoughts on this? Do you share the same thoughts? Leave them below and subscribe for more.